Hi, my name is Nicole and my blood is 100% Polish, as my parents were both born in Poland, but I was born and grew up in Germany until I was 19 years old. Then I moved to the Netherlands, where I live now for 15 years already. So actually, I feel like a foreigner my whole life. Growing up with two languages at home in Germany, kids would always point out that I sound differently, especially when using the letter R. And now in the Netherlands, when people get to know me for the first time, they will often point out that I sound differently, but they cannot really place my accent. I don't mind this at all, it makes me smile, but it also makes me think a lot about my sense of belonging and what it means to actually feel at home. To me, feeling at home is a beautiful feeling of peace and comfort within yourself and your surrounding. It is a mental and physical experience, and the very root of it starts within yourself, your own being and body. I think we have to feel at home within ourselves first before we can feel like we belong anywhere. As I try to get a clearer vision on what the sense of belonging is to me, I realized that it is quite a complex thing and it has so many facets. I came up with a few categories that, in my opinion, have a great influence on how much someone feels at home. The categories I came up with are you, family and friends, culture, landscape, language, work, and maybe the most obvious one, the physical space, our house, where we spend most of our time. There are probably more categories than these. If you know another one that I didn't mention, let me know in the comments. I am really curious about this topic. So I believe that it is probably very common and natural that we don't feel 100% in all of these areas. For example, we can feel a sense of belonging and home within our family, but maybe not so much within the culture of the country we're living in. Or we feel very much at home living by the sea, but actually not so much within the house we currently live in. And on some categories we have more control over than the other ones, and some categories might be more important to you than to me, and we prioritize them differently. So again, it's a truly complex thing, and it's also a very personal thing. Yet I try to make a chart of how much sense of belonging I have within those categories at the moment. I like to see things visual, and this might also explain why I feel a certain way. Let's start with the category you right in the middle, because I think it's the most important one to feel at home within your own mind and body. Because that one we cannot escape. We take that everywhere we go, and it's really important to take good care of it. This category might also be the one that fluctuates the most, at least in my case, when I have to deal with mental issues like anxiety attacks or illnesses like the migraine I'm dealing with for so many years. Whenever those rise up again, the percentage for this category goes down. But overall, I would say I give it 85% because I'm actually quite happy with being the being that I am. So I give my family and friends category 80% because I do have enough lovely people that I feel connected to, loved by, and that I feel supported by. However, some of them live quite far away and I cannot see them as often as I would like to. I feel quite grounded within the Dutch culture, so I give it 90%. I really appreciate the kindness of the people here. I understand the traditions and I really like their open and direct communication. There is no nonsense, no constantly reading between the lines and guessing what the other person means. It's very straightforward and I really like that about the Dutch people. Now here comes the category that I struggle with the most probably, and that's the landscape I'm surrounded by. The Netherlands are a very small country and really a lot of it is farm fields. It's a very flat country as well. There are no mountains, and the few nature areas that are really quite beautiful, they are often crowded or fenced. And whenever I'm on vacation and I get to be in places that are more wild and vast and open, I realize how great of an impact that has on my happiness and the feeling of being more free within the space I'm surrounded by. Language-wise, I feel very comfortable with speaking Dutch. It might actually already feel more natural to me than speaking German, which is my mother language. But because I use Dutch now on a daily basis for so many years, I think I actually start to feel more comfortable in speaking Dutch than German. I guess this can change over time. I feel very happy with the work I'm currently doing. Creating these videos as well as my paintings feels very meaningful to me, especially when I get those beautiful comments that you sometimes write underneath my videos. Thank you so much for that. However, I wish to support my family financially with my work, and that's still a struggle, so I only give it 75%. The house we live in is nice. I won't complain too much about it, but it's definitely very far away from what I imagine to be my dream house. So we're definitely not there yet. Again, I think it is not realistic to strive for 100% in every category, maybe not even in any of them. Life never is perfect in all ways, but I feel, well, I would love to get to at least 80% in all of the categories I mentioned, because I noticed that when I'm below 80%, it takes up mind space and energy because I worry about it and feel the need to improve it, to feel more sense of belonging in that specific area. I have found a way to bring a piece of a place on earth into people's homes, and I find that truly magical. So I'm a painter and I collect earth pigments, or I receive them from clients from a place on earth that is special to them, and I get to paint with it. The beauty of these pigments created by nature just blow my mind every time during the painting process. The soothing, warm colors of the earth and the gorgeous, tangible textures and patterns that emerge when painting with it in a fluid way. I find it such a gift to be able to work with. But on top of that, when I get to create a painting for someone with such a special meaning, it fills my heart with so much love and joy. I made this painting for Anneke, for example. She grew up in South Africa but lives now in the Netherlands. She loves and misses her home country. Through her parents, who still live in South Africa, we managed to get our hands on several sorts of pigments from the area that Anneke grew up in, and I was able to create a painting for her, a piece of South Africa that brings her comfort and joy within her home now. Did you leave your home country as well, and what helps you to feel at home within your new surrounding? Let me know in the comments and I will reply to you as soon as possible. See you next week, my friend. Bye bye.